Hello, everyone, and welcome to SalesRobot Customer of the Week, a new weekly show where we interview our best customers and figure out how they ended up becoming the best customer, right? So we go deep into their process with tips around personalization, targeting, and messaging so that you can take away some tips to implement in your cold outreach starting tomorrow. Today, we have Pooja Jagwani from Buzz Up Marketing. Welcome to the show, Pooja.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Saurabh, for the wonderful introduction. I just want to kind of give you a quick heads up of what we do at BuzzUp. We are a
Mhm.
4-year-old B2B marketing agency wherein we help them increase their brand awareness on LinkedIn as well as generate leads through SalesRobot, of course, through again LinkedIn. So that has been the journey for the 4 years, and we've kind of worked around all the verticals, like close to all verticals, from industrial manufacturers to event management to machineries, then service providers and stuff like that. We've kind of worked with close to 130 plus companies till date. Then the journey is kind of still continuing with the same. Yes, the tool has been really helpful to us, and it was really, fortunate that we got connected during, I kind of was just starting off.
Hmm.
So I wanted to kind of go for some tool and stuff. So you kind of reached out to me at the very right time.
Hmm.
So I really like I had used other tools in the past experience, like in my work I was working somewhere, but those tools had some setbacks. So the best part with Sales Robot was that you kind of worked upon the gaps that they had, and you
Hmm.
beautifully solved it. And when the unfortunate event that happened was LinkedIn constraint from daily 100 requests to weekly 100 requests, you also came up with the solution for that, to in-mail campaigns, group campaigns, event campaigns. These are the all points that I wanted to kind of specifically tell you. This is how we kind of served better for the client.
Awesome,
So
awesome. Yeah, we always try to make sure that you get as much volume out as possible because cold
that's
outreach is one of those things that you can have the best messaging, but it
right.
is still a numbers game, right? If you don't
Absolutely.
get
Absolutely.
enough volume out, you won't get great results. Awesome.
Absolutely.
So let's dive deeper into your winning. So this
Perfect.
particular campaign was with a client of yours, Shranka,
Yes.
and it was to do with podcasts. So can you tell me a little bit more about this client? Who was this client? What were they trying to achieve?
Sure. Ritesh Shankar is the the founder of iShell Events, wherein
Mhm.
they reached out to us for promoting their corporate events side, as well as they started the podcast with the hospitality industry. So we kind
Hmm.
of framed campaigns around those two, goal points for them, and that's how the that's the
Got it. Okay, so let's dive deeper into the actual campaign. Before we
perfect,
go into the targeting, let me just share my screen and show the actual
perfect,
results, which are very impressive.
perfect,
Um,
absolutely,
yeah. So this is a campaign that was run about 4 months ago, right?
yeah.
You've got about a 64% acceptance rate, so very
Yes.
high,
Hmm.
and a 40% reply rate, which is again very high.
True.
So this is the campaign, guys. So with this, let's get deeper into it.
Sure.
Let's see who you were targeting, right? So
Sure.
you had this search URL. So let's actually go into um, Sales Nav and see who was being targeted. So yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the thought process behind targeting these people.
Actually, they wanted to reach out to the hospitality industry who can speak a little bit about the property, because since they are
Hmm.
into event, ultimately they might be needing some venues for their weddings and any kind of
Hmm.
corporate events as well. So they wanted
Hmm.
to kind of get the base work ready, and by networking with these hospitality or the hotel properties resorts that they targeted from all over the country.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Got it. So basically, you were looking at geography, India,
yes,
hospitality, and then there's the headcount. And you
yes,
wanted people who were active on LinkedIn. That's why you did
absolutely,
this.
absolutely. And GMs are the ones who were kind of giving them good response for
Hmm.
shooting their podcast and stuff. They were very,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And any particular reason you use GM as a keyword rather than a job title?
Uh, GM as a keyword, why? Because we wanted the search to be a little more diversified. Like you're seeing
Hmm.
GM operations is also a part of it.
Hmm.
So we wanted
Right.
operations also to be who are looking after the operations part, or they were also into GM and marketing department. So we wanted
Hmm.
to keep the arena open, like the GM
Hmm.
and particular associate properties. So that's why we wanted to keep it very open in terms
Hmm.
of, yeah, targeting.
Got it. So with this, you have 9:30. So let's go deeper into your copy. Okay.
Yeah,
So podcast, Indian hotels, and then this is the sequence.
yeah,
Okay. Step one, two, three. Three-step sequence, right?
yes.
Okay. So step one is, so tell me a little bit about the thought process here. What was the step
Sure,
one and two?
sure. You have only taught us to kind of engage before we
Hmm.
dive into connecting with them. So that
Hmm.
touch point is always in my campaigns. So I always engage with their content first, the latest content, and then we reach out to them, right? So because they
Hmm.
get the notification and stuff. So that's my step one. Step two was totally into how hospitality people are, more or less focusing on the client or the guest experience. So
Hmm.
we wanted to
No
focus on the
worries.
client guest experience perspective.
Hmm.
So that's how they kind of connected really well with this, thing.
Hmm. Hmm. No, absolutely. I think this is a great learning for anybody listening to this show.
Yeah,
What Pooja has done brilliantly here is she's taken this point around what is their pain point and what do they worry about? What do these GMs, who we
right.
saw in our search, what they
Hmm.
worry about at night, right? So if we are able to, speak to that and look at ways to help them with what they are worrying about, then this obviously increases the acceptance rates, which we can see,
Absolutely,
right? As a
absolutely,
64% acceptance rate is phenomenal. Okay, so
absolutely.
that is the thought process, and it's open ended. You're not pitching anything; you're just connecting, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, and the in-mail is pretty much the same.
Yes, yes. Similar to what we did.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense. Perfect. Now let's get into the real money maker here, the message.
Direct
How do we?
offering. Yeah.
Mhm.
Direct offering, how this podcast is kind of running, functioning, and how it is helping the hospitality or the hotels and resorts to kind of bring more visibility for them as well. Because, there are very few uh, hos- hotels and resorts who are, doing such kind of podcasts. So we wanted to
Hmm.
bring them on the platform, and we kind of wanted their stories to come out, because people don't talk at stretch. They are just showing the property and
Hmm.
that's it. We also, like Aishil, Pritesh always wanted their stories to come out, like their
Hmm.
journey to come out, and the experiences they have with the guests and all those to come out. So that's an
Hmm.
educational, podcast altogether.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Educational and I guess entertainment, because I'm sure if they're planning a wedding, there's so
yeah,
much behind the scenes going on, and there's so much,
absolutely.
like hard work and moments where everything seems like it won't come together and then does at the last moment. That something that it's a great story, so that's why telling that makes sense.
And it's an indirect message that goes out, is how you have to, what criteria to be checked upon while choosing a venue. So they are
Hmm.
also showcasing the property in a very subtle manner. Like they
Hmm.
give the glimpse of the property as well.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Featuring
yeah,
company name. You're also planning a property shoot. Yeah, this is the
yeah,
part where you talk about the shoot, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And we are giving them the, video with the editing part, like with the post production and stuff, very well. They can also promote it into their socials and all of that.
Yeah, this is a great point because that's free marketing for Pritesh's company as well, right? Because
Absolutely,
you're able
absolutely,
to tap into their network. Awesome. So
absolutely,
let's get into
absolutely.
some responses that this
Yeah,
achieved, right?
right.
Let's see. Okay, so Saurav has said. They're under renovations. Thanks for connecting. But yeah, still a positive reply despite
Yeah,
it being
yeah,
under renovations.
yeah.
Um,
Sure,
sure,
we can
we can
discuss.
discuss. Right. Hi. This is the first message, right? The second didn't
Hmm,
go out.
hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy to connect. And then you're like, um, okay, please contact
Yeah.
our corporate marketing team. They take care. Their number, right? Sarovar
Hmm.
Hotels, 125 properties. So big, yeah? Big
Yeah,
deal.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
How can we collaborate? I'm also have, okay. And these are very positive. Yeah, sure. Is
Yeah.
there?
We gave them close to 30 leads in a month.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, yes, that goes to show you everyone like who's listening to this show. This is all about the offer, right? So
Hmm.
if you look at a direct approach that Pooja could have done without the podcast, I'm sure like these many leads won't have come out for sure. So you always have to think about what's in it for the audience. Make it stupidly simple for them to reply and add so much value that
Hmm.
that they would be stupid not to reply to the email or
Absolutely.
the message, right? So
Absolutely.
this is a great learning for all of us here at the show, Pooja, that having a podcast, and this is one of the reasons we are also doing the podcast, so that we are able
Right.
to promote your stories and make sure that
Absolutely.
people understand what kind of
Absolutely.
messaging actually drives results.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Makes sense.
Awesome. So that is on the campaign. Now let's get deeper into some of your story and your journey. So what are some of the mistakes that you made when you first started doing cold outreach for yourself or for clients?
We had very low connection acceptance rate in the past, so we
Mhm.
kind of tweaked the first message itself. Like we've also seen a couple of what copies really work. We were doing like what is the basic mistake was we were just playing with the introduction game, right? Who we
Mm,
are and what we do. That's it. And in order to get that in impression that people don't care about what you do, it's
yeah.
always the first impression should always be what's in it for them. Why
Mm,
they should get that reason of accepting a request, right?
mm,
So that's how we change the perspective to what's in it for them, and that drives us, good results. Like any, I can't remember like after changing that as a perspective, I think we haven't gone below 20 in
mm,
all of like any of our clients. So we are close to 20, 30, 40 as well. So
mm,
that has kind of changed really well. Secondly, we were not getting good replies, right?
mm,
So that way we wanted the conversation to be yes no ish. Like the
mm,
question should be closed ended and not the open ended one. We don't want to
mm.
People don't want to write too much. They want to just select the
Mm,
option of automated messages and get the
mm,
sequence ahead. So if they say
mm,
yes, we had yes ka follow up, and if they say no, we also have the follow up for the no. So that way
mm,
your tool has helped us really well to continue the automation even the yes no has happened.
mm, mm,
That brings us to further personalization, like further taking out
mm.
the conversations ahead. So those two things has have helped us really well. And of course the group campaigns are like treasure, like
Mm, mm.
killing the number game. Right.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, these are both great learnings
Hmm.
because the biggest thing is you have to realize like nobody's on LinkedIn to make friends with a stranger, right? That's reaching
True
out.
that.
So if you have a good close-ended question, which still gets them to take the next step easily, it's almost like the thought process is almost like filling out a quick survey, right? As
Absolutely.
opposed to having a conversation because they don't have time, right? Nobody has time these days. They're all busy with their lives. It's important to make it super easy for them to say either yes or no. Either is fine.
Absolutely.
It's the
Absolutely.
silence that kills you in cold outreach. So this is
Yeah.
great. So yeah,
Right.
awesome. So those are the mistakes. Now, what are some of the things you're excited about trying to improve outreach process?
I think getting better with targeting, because
Mm,
as we can see that Sales Navigator is giving the wrong,
mm,
because of the keywords. So we just figuring out to keep the app Sales Navigator link by putting up the n number of filters so as to get the
mm,
app list. Secondly, targeting with hyper personalization aspect.
mm,
So, putting up AI, using AI with less efforts. So your
mm,
platform is giving us that copy AI driven copies as well. So those things are kind of in progress to get us better results.
Awesome, awesome. And yeah, this is the interesting point that you mentioned because we recently released a new feature around this, around the hyper
Wow.
targeting.
Wow.
So we saw this problem come up very often. So I'll give you
Okay.
an example. This is a real example of a
Sure.
client that came in. So they're a German manufacturer of those big glass windows you see in buildings, right? So they were trying to increase their network in the US and just sell to more American window installers in New York and these big cities. So they had tried Sales Navigator. They tried every combination of keywords like window installer or manufacturer or glass facade or everything they tried, right? That failed. So they came in and they said, okay, we want to just target window installers in the US, and this is a problem, and we are not able to solve it, and we're not getting leads. Let me show you what we did. So
Sure.
we have a new feature in here called AI-driven lookalikes, right? Which is able to just build a list on the basis of a few, on just basis of just one example of a
Okay.
client that they already have. So I'll show you what we did for them.
Okay.
So this is the client. Show you what their results are and then how we did.
Perfect.
So we've been working with them for about a month. This is what happened, right? So they came in. They have a 35 reply, 50% reply rate, and about 10% because German to US, right? So
Oh,
10% acceptance rate. Now, what we did was we asked them, who's your favorite client right now? So they
okay.
told us the name of this one particular client. They're called like Windows, some Windows installer from New York, right? They already
Okay.
had them as a client. So what we did was we have an AI app, window installation company, right? So what we did is we just went to our AI model. I can
Mm-hmm.
just show you a demo account and just put in the name of this website and said, okay, show me more, companies on LinkedIn that are very similar to Adler Windows, right? Which is a window installation company. So this is what
Perfect.
it looked like ultimately. So we clicked on create campaign. Let's say LinkedIn only. I'm an advanced user. Let's say lookalikes. Right? Let's say yeah, add lookalike prospects. So we just put in adlerwindows.com here. That's it, right? And it just looked in its database for yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so Adler Windows and person information we want like owner, founder, C level, right? And company information they should be in the US because they were trying to go to the US.
Oh,
Okay, search
wow.
prospects, and then you view, and these are all going to be like window companies. So this like a window company from Florida. So you didn't even have to tell it any industry. It just figured out using AI that this person is actually looking for windows. Um,
Super cool.
yeah. So this is amazing. This is one of those applications that really makes you mind blown that where AI is actually going, and
I
we actually released it already, and we've
Wow.
got customers getting phenomenal results with it. So particularly
Wow.
for these niche, products where Sales Navigator just doesn't have the industry, so there's no window installation industry in Sales Nav, nothing like that,
Right.
right?
Right.
So you
Right.
have
Right.
to use something like this, so it works.
It's cool. I'll
Yeah,
start using it
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, for sure,
Very nice.
for
Very
sure.
nice.
So yeah, so coming back to the point that you were saying, at SalesRobot, we're all about solving the problem. So whenever you get a problem, like for example, targeting is bad or AI personalization, we are get coming up with very good features around that as well.
Perfect.
Like an
Perfect.
AI agent that will do hyper personalization, like 99% of the work, and you just have to review the work, right? That
Right.
it has
Right.
done.
Right. Makes
So
sense.
very very cool releases planned around all of that.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Awesome. So those are all the questions I had, Pooja. Thank you so much for doing this. That's our
Thank
time on the
you.
podcast.
Thank
And we
you.
wish you continued success in the new year and keen to
Thank
take
you.
this collaboration to new heights.
For sure. Thank you so
Pooja.